The popularity and cost of cryptocurrencies has skyrocketed over the last 5 years. Digital currencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin have quickly become household names. However, the growing success of the allegedly untraceable funds has ushered in a new era of cybercrime. As ransomware attacks surge nationwide, there are new questions about how officials can regulate these digital transactions. CBSN technology reporter Dan Patterson joins me now with more on this. Hi, Dan. Great to see you. So, many people are familiar with cryptocurrency, at least the term. But for those who aren't, how exactly does it work and how is it different from traditional currency?
Yeah, it's good to see you, Tanya. So cryptocurrency, like its name, it is a currency. Look, these are digital assets, coins, whatever metaphor you want to use. They can be traded and they can be bought. Now, how it works is slightly more complex. We like to say this is powered by what's called blockchain technology. Really, what this means is that instead of being issued by a government or even a private company, cryptocurrency exists because of math and because of algorithms that store each transaction. And this is, again, think of this kind of like we use metaphors, but like a spreadsheet of every single transaction. All of those are stored in what's called the blockchain. It's math and encryption that makes sure that that is each transaction, each token is unique. So this is kind of why cryptocurrency is valuable, the uniqueness backed up by math. And that is kind of the simple answer to your question, Tanya.
So how has the fact then that cryptocurrencies are decentralized and unregulated contributed to the recent spike in ransomware attacks around the globe? Is it as simple as saying, well, you know, these criminals can get away with their crime because no one can follow the money?
Well, it's not quite that simple, actually, Tanya, and cryptocurrency is not untraceable. In fact, there are certain types of cryptocurrency that are a little more difficult to track, but all crypto can be traced in one way or another. But, you know, what's very interesting is, you know, of course, we know that crime has existed long before cryptocurrency or before cybercrime or hackers. But even until very recently, until the advent of cryptocurrency, cyber criminals had to be kind of innovative to get cash out of systems. They used to kind of tinker with the SWIFT banking system. This is how banks communicate with each other. And in fact, there are some fairly famous cases of hackers actually using trains of cash in the Ukraine to get money out of the banking system. And of course, there are typical laundering systems as well. But with cryptocurrency, all of that kind of changed because it is not the incentive. However, it is the mechanism. It allows, instead of all of these kind of harebrained schemes and to launder money, it allows criminals to just kind of do typical banking, to exchange currency and have it be fairly instantaneous and pseudo-anonymous.
Well, let me ask you how it works on the criminal end, though. They are guilty of this crime. They have the money in their Bitcoin account or cryptocurrency account, whatever it may be. How do they then transfer that to actual physical cold hard cash? Or do they not need to? They can just use their cryptocurrency to buy other things.
Yeah, you don't always need to, Tanya. And in fact, often criminals will keep a surplus of various types of cryptocurrency, but the chain can work. It's fairly simple. So you can purchase on an open market Bitcoin. Then you can, even through a simple Google search, find what's called a tumbler. This is something that allows you to exchange my Bitcoin for a different Bitcoin. In this process, it kind of means that I now have a fresh, new, and air quotes, anonymous Bitcoin. Then criminals tend to transfer things to their Bitcoin to Monero or Zcash. And the reason they use these forms of cryptocurrency is because both the sender and the receiver, at least with Monero, are obfuscated. This makes it really hard to find who is sending cash to who. Then on the other end, you just do what you or I could do very legally, which is export that cryptocurrency in a wallet to cash, transfer that to a bank account, and you're good to go.
So, Dan, what's the takeaway here? How can people protect themselves? And what are governments gearing up to do about this since, like we said, cybercrime is on the rise?
Yeah, so the takeaway here, Tanya, is really simple. We've been talking about kind of this complex math equations in cryptocurrencies. What's really easy to follow here is that cyber criminals of all sorts like to target low-hanging fruit. Like everybody, they're kind of lazy. They want the easy target. So make sure you're not the easy target. There are some things you can do right now to harden your defenses and make sure you're not scammed, hacked, or kind of fall into some of these schemes. One, make sure you use long, strong, and unique passwords. That's because, we've all been hacked and had passwords reused on different sites. If you reuse that password, you are pretty vulnerable. Enable two-factor authentication, which is just another password that's sent to you. These things will prevent you from being phished or falling prey to some fairly simple scams that hackers really love to use to exploit sometimes pretty big-time companies.
Great advice. Do what you can to not be that low-hanging fruit. Dan Patterson, thank you. As always, great to have you with us.
It's great to see you.